A. Youth apprenticeship programs. CareerWise is a large-scale youth apprenticeship program in the U.S. that allows high school students to learn a skill by working at a company. CareerWise is modeled after programs in Switzerland, where over two-thirds of students do apprenticeships. Thanks to such apprenticeships, Switzerland has extremely low student debt and high employment rates, whereas the U.S. has over $1 trillion in student debt and large numbers of unemployed college graduates. CareerWise aims to prepare participants for a profession while challenging the assumption that earning a college degree is the only path to a successful career. Critics say many apprenticeship programs direct low-income students into blue-collar jobs. They also question whether the specialized skills students learn will be applicable across jobs or industries. But supporters insist they are highly transferable. What is more, CareerWise offers participants a broad range of industries to choose from, including healthcare and IT. Upon completion of the program, CareerWise apprentices receive their high school diploma plus college credit and thousands of dollars in wages. They can choose to go on to college, continue at their current job, or seek other employment. Meanwhile, employers benefit by developing a skilled workforce while reducing labor costs.
Questions. Number 11. What do we learn about Switzerland's apprenticeship programs? Number 12. What is one criticism of apprenticeship programs?
B. Bioplastics. Conventional plastics are made from petroleum, a non-renewable resource. They are also hard to dispose of, as petroleum-based products do not break down easily. To address this, some environmentalists are promoting plastics that are mostly made using plant materials. Known as bioplastics, these require fewer fossil fuel resources to produce. For proponents, the ability of bioplastics to break down into natural, mostly harmless materials is considered their biggest selling point. Their biodegradability, however, often depends on high-temperature processes at specialized factories, which most places do not have. Consequently, after they can no longer be used, bioplastics are often buried in landfills, where they may release methane, a greenhouse gas that damages the ozone layer. Also, if bioplastics get mixed in with ordinary plastics during the recycling process, they can damage the recycling infrastructure and ruin entire batches of recycled plastic. Bioplastics require a separate recycling system in order to be reused, which is expensive and inconvenient. Another drawback is that chemical fertilizers and pesticides would be required to cultivate enough plants to make the bioplastics industry globally viable. Therefore, many people want to increase the recycling of regular plastics rather than expanding the use of bioplastics.
Questions. Number 13. What is one advantage of bioplastics? Number 14. What is one problem with used bioplastics?
C. Ray Montague. Ray Montague, an African-American engineer, started working for the U.S. Navy in 1956 as a digital computer systems operator and later advanced to the position of computer systems analyst. One day, her boss, whom Montague said held discriminatory attitudes toward black people, attempted to set her up for failure. He told her to create a computer program that could design ships, but he only gave her a 6-month deadline and neglected to mention that his department had been struggling with the same task for 6 years. Montague was determined to succeed and even worked alone at night until her boss finally granted her staff support. Montague met the deadline, creating the first ever computer-generated ship designs. U.S. President Richard Nixon, who wanted to produce warships at a more rapid pace, was highly impressed. Montague was then commissioned to design an actual ship. She completed the design in less than 19 hours, and soon all naval ships and submarines came to be drawn up in this manner. Thanks to her remarkable achievements, she received numerous awards and became the U.S. Navy's first female program manager of ships.
Questions. Number 15. What did Ray Montague's boss likely assume about her? Number 16. What is Montague remembered for?
D. Salps and the environment. Salps are small, transparent marine organisms that resemble jellyfish. Their unique life cycle and ability to change sex make them fascinating creatures. In their initial stage as females, they go through a reproductive process called budding, during which they produce exact copies of themselves without mating. These tiny clones are linked together in a chain, with each female clone containing a single egg. Later, when the chains have matured, they break apart. Meanwhile, the original female salp becomes male and fertilizes nearby eggs. The resulting female embryos eventually swim out and create their own chain of clones. Salps have been drawing the attention of scientists because of their potential to help fight climate change. Algae, which make up a significant portion of salps' diet, must absorb CO2 in order to grow. Salps' consumption of algae means they also take in the associated carbon. This is then turned into a waste product that sinks to the bottom of the ocean floor, effectively preventing the carbon from returning to the atmosphere. Scientists hope it will one day be possible to utilize salps' enormous appetite to help manage atmospheric CO2 levels.
Questions. Number 17. What is one thing the speaker says about salps? Number 18. How might salps help fight climate change? E. Ancient Egyptian mummies. In 2011, researcher Roger Montgomery published some surprising findings regarding ancient Egyptian mummies. Montgomery examined the lungs of 15 preserved bodies and found that the mummies' lungs all contained tiny particles known as microscopic particulates. Today, microscopic particulates are associated with various diseases, including lung cancer and pneumonia, and are thought to result from the burning of fossil fuels by modern industry. Montgomery's research, however, showed that the particulate levels in the mummies were nearly as high as those found in modern humans, indicating that some forms of pollution also affected people in ancient times. The mummies examined by Montgomery came from all walks of life and included labourers, priests, and upper-class city dwellers. In spite of the fact that these people came from different social and geographic backgrounds, their lungs all contained similar levels of particulates. Montgomery therefore speculated that the particulates probably produced by metalworking, mining, or even fires for cooking could have been spread throughout the population by sandstorms, which are common to the region. The research suggests that the majority of ancient Egyptians suffered from the ill effects of having microscopic particulates in their lungs.
Questions. Number 19. What was surprising about the Egyptian mummies? Number 20. What does the research indicate about microscopic particulates?